Welcome back to the news at 10. Our community report tonight features Ogijo, a border town between Lagos and Ogun states, which boasts of a huge concentration of industrial estates. Well, this, however, has not impacted the lives of the people positively, as infrastructure development is almost non-existent there. Our correspondent Chris Elems reports.
Now you're talking.
Ogijo is a boundary town between Lagos and Ogun State, located in Shagamu South, along the old Lagos-Shagamu Expressway. The expressway, built over 50 years ago, has served as a nerve center for this community, but right now, it is in a sorry state.
As big as Ogijo town is, 127 villages under this town. As big as this town is, there is no single tarred road. This is the only tarred road we have, and you can see how wonderful it is. You understand? This is the only tarred road. It is a trunk A federal road, and this is the only road linking from Ikorodu to Shagamu. On this road alone, the federal government makes a lot of money.
And we almost had a taste of what the people experience daily here. Population here as of 2006 was put at about 120,000 adults. Though Ogijo is blessed with lots of industrial presence, this has, however, not reflected in the development of the town. Other issues plaguing this community include erosion and industrial pollution.
On the community, when you go to their various homes, meet with some of them, they complain bitterly about this film. But they are helpless. There's nothing they can do because they are not as powerful and strong as the Indians. Because the Indians, when they go to any of these government offices, they always find their way.
When they emit their gases, you cannot open your windows and you need light. So once you have light, you will be able to put on your fan so that the fan can blow away this smoke. So everybody wants light. Now since you've been here, there is no light. No light. And we contribute money. I can tell you, if you factor how much we have contributed in this land, Ogijo, it will be close to 300 million that we have spent on electricity. This single post is bought by the community, not by PSCN or IBD or NEPA. It is community effort, all what you are saying. Community efforts, we pay for it. So we need government assistance. We cannot do all this alone.
The plight of the people seemed not to have gone unnoticed, as the chairman of the Local Government Transition Committee says the government was working towards alleviating the sufferings of the people.
Ogijo has been suffering from roads. Since the past administration, we have never had a single tar road except the trunk A road from the federal government. And the trunk A road that we are still having snow to write home about. But as the state governor promised us, he has met with the presidency and they said they must have something done soonest.
At the moment, Ogijo has just one public primary and secondary school and over 200 government-approved private institutions. With so much revenue being generated here, it's only important that due attention be accorded this community. So it doesn't seem like a case of killing the goats that lays the golden egg. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
Now you're talking.
Now, all businesses that intend to engage in international trade, especially importation of products, will now have to do that through an electronic system called Electronic Product Certificate. This new directive is a result of the collaboration between the Standards Organization of Nigeria and the Nigeria Customs Service, and it's aimed at trade efficiency and curbing import of counterfeit products.
So that our
a new rule of engagement would set in just about a matter of days for a large number of this audience and those involved in international trade. International trade, especially importation, will now be done through electronic product certificate.
I can enter any place as agent and remove any product that we find offensive that do not meet the standards that are already elaborated for Nigeria. That is what that new law has said. And there is nothing, we don't even need to go to the court.
By the new EPC mandate, every information on what you intend to import is now electronically done, meaning no interface with the SON, customs, FIRS, or the CBN.
If you want to bring in a regulated product, you must get your SUNCAP and product certificate from abroad through the international accredited firms that we're dealing with. So once those are done and those documents are ready, then all you need to do is to get to your system and process your transaction. Unlike what is happening now when people come to the office and negotiate with my staff on what to be done, and people always complain that these rates you charge are not on the net and they are not standard. If it's 5 million and you say, okay, I want to pay 3 million, somehow it gets accepted and all that. Those things will now be a thing of the past.
In addition to the potentials of curbing importation of counterfeit products, all ports within the country are now to be designated for different products.
We launch this thing by next month. It will be difficult for somebody to start his transaction without having a TIN number because the system will not allow him to go. Before our system, when we introduced it, we allow some of these things to happen so that the trade can move gradually. But we are now gradually tightening the boats and plugging the loopholes and the leakages that attract both for revenue and regulation and the entire security of this country.
The thinking here is to bring down the percentage of substandard goods from 40% to 10% and grow national revenue. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
Let's take a look at some business now. Here's Anne Wanwudu.
You first. First Bank.
Hello and welcome to Business News. The nation's gross revenue for the month of July is set to have declined by 52 billion naira, and the shortfall, according to the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Finance, Mrs. Anastasia Nwabiala, was as a result of the shutdown of production of crude oil. The Permanent Secretary spoke with journalists after the monthly Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting in Abuja.
To the three tiers of government, the gross statutory revenue, that's the total revenue available for distribution for the month of July, is 430.446 billion. After all the deductions, we have 411.867 billion. For value-added tax, gross amount generated 74.945 billion. After the cost of deduction is 71.947 billion. The breakdown will be provided to you by the Office of the Accountant General. Under the excess crude account, we have a current balance of $2.257 billion.
Nigeria's real gross domestic product for the second quarter of the year has dropped to 2.35%. That's from 3.96% in the first quarter. For the same period in 2014, it plunged by 4.19%. This data was contained in a report released by the Bureau of Statistics. Now, the real growth of the oil sector slowed by 6.79% for the same period, with oil production down 5.9% to 2.05 million barrels per day, while the non-oil sector fell by 3.46%. Now, despite this drop in real terms, the non-oil sector contributed 90.20% to the nation's GDP, marginally higher from 89.55% recorded in the first quarter and 89.24% posted in the second quarter of 2014. 2014. Tailspin performance continued to ride on the trading floor today of the Nigerian Stock Exchange as sell-offs on blue-chip stocks ended the key benchmark index at 2.32 lower. Harriet Agbenyi has the details.
Welcome to the Stock Market Report. The equities market continues to bleed in today's session as persistent sell-offs of blue-chip stocks, including Nestle, Transcorp and FBN Holdings, depressed the local buzz further by 2.32%. Market capitalization ended the session at 9.67 trillion naira, with the all-share index at 28,137.65. With a percentage gain of 4.97%, Dangote Sugar topped the gainers list, closing at 6 naira 34 kobo. Vitafoam gained 2.13% to close at 5 naira 75 kobo, while FCMB gained 1.92% to end the session at 2 naira 12 kobo. Nestle lost 5% to finish at 917 naira 69 kobo. Mobil and Total closed 143 naira 50 kobo and 146 naira 88 kobo, respectively. Well, banking stocks are still the most actively traded, particularly Guarantee Trust Bank, Zenith Bank and Access Bank. 483.74 million shares were exchanged by investors in 4,673 deals, with a higher value today of 5.09 billion naira. That's the Stock Market Report. I'm Harriet Agbenyi.
Thanks a lot, Harriet. First Registrars, an investor-related company which has a subsidiary, it was a subsidiary of First Bank Limited until about 2 years ago, unveiled their new brand identity in Lagos. The managing director of the company, which caters for shareholders' interest of First Bank customers and other concerns, says that this move gives them the opportunity to dabble into other activities which they could not have done as a subsidiary. Our correspondent Mary Alala Yusuf reports.
The chairman, directors, board members and brand advisors converge for the unveiling of the new identity of First Registrars, which they say is long overdue. In a short speech, the managing director points out that though the name has changed, the heritage is the same.
Not too long ago, First Bank divested from First Registrars in compliance with regulatory requirements. And this inspired the need for First Registrars to create its own brand identity, differently from the First Bank brand. Though a unique brand that First Registrars is today, our heritage remains the same.
And without wasting time, members of the board of directors and the MD joined the chairman to uncover the new identity. First Registrars and Investor Services Limited. The First Bank elephant is conspicuously absent. The MD is decorated with the new collateral of office, and he in turn decorates the chairman.
Our consultants have worked very hard. We have to make a very hard choice when we were presented at the board level with one or two others. Eventually, we were able to come up with this.
But why is the new name so similar to the first?
We are known to be the first in terms of service delivery, in terms of market share in this industry. And when First Bank was divesting, as far as they're concerned, we should have changed our name completely. But we put up an argument. But what has changed is that we are refocusing our business. Before now, we are a mono product, if you like to say, kind of business. We do only share registration, and that's it.
According to First Registrars and Investor Services Limited, they are no longer only registrars, but have become an investor supermarket that is branching out into asset management, data management, billing systems, and other things. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.
Dangote Cement today concluded 11 deals with Sinoma Company of China over the siting of grinding plants across 11 countries in Africa and South Asia. The signing ceremony underscores the commencement of the new plants with a total value of 25 million tons, a capacity across the countries. Channel's business correspondent Temple Ashaju reports.
Diplomats, executives of Sinoma Engineering Company and of Dangote Cement gathered here in Lagos to witness the signing of 9 new Memorandum of Understanding and the conclusion of 2 others signed earlier. The MOU borders on 9 plants of 1.5 million metric tons capacity, 3 grinding plants of 3 million tons, and a 2.5 million tons capacity plant spread across 10 African countries and 1 Asian nation, Nepal. The MOU strengthens the long-term relationship between Nigeria's cement giant, Dangote, and Sinoma Engineering Company of China. President of Dangote Cement, Mr. Aliko Dangote, explains how the MOU is strategic to the future of Africa and the Asian Hemisphere.
Today we are not only building cement plants in Nigeria, we are building them not even in Africa. We have gone far away to Nepal to build a 3 million tons capacity. And obviously this, by the time that these projects are completed in the next 2 years, Dangote Cement PLC will have more than 70 million capacity. But we're not going to stop there. Hopefully by 2020 our target is getting to somewhere around 100 million tons.
Sinoma Engineering Company Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Shen Jun, appreciates the Nigeria-China synergy.
We are very glad to be here to welcome all of you to attend this ceremony. This signing contract means our business relationship with Dangote Group will come to a new era, and thank you very much.
The MOU targets 2 new phases of grinding plants in Nigeria, 1 new phase each in Ethiopia, Zambia, and Cameroon. Other locations include Senegal, Niger, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and 2 new setups in Kenya. The total 25 million metric tons plants is valued at $4.34 billion. Temple Ashaju, Channels Business News.
While some major equities around the globe today took a break from the downward slide experienced earlier in the week, let's see some of those figures. That's it on Business News. I'm Anne Nwawado. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
You first. First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's The Tigers beat Mozambique to qualify for the quarterfinals of the Afro Basket Championship, and that will be on sports. Stay with us.